Oh, that's bright. That is bright. Welcome to All Things Woman, where we discuss femininity, womanhood, and I give you overall life advice. If any of that interests you, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. Today, we're going to be talking about how feminine women stay unbothered. We stay unbothered and we know how to live healthy, happy, joyful lives because we stay unbothered. I'm going to wait for a few of you to come on in here so that I'm not talking completely to myself. I hope everybody is having a good summer. I hope everybody is being relaxed and nurturing their femininity, taking time for themselves, not allowing people to stress them. I hope everybody is enjoying the channel and I do appreciate your support. So thank you for being here. Let me grab a sip of my water. I was sitting here trying to get the angles right and it came up. I'm like, I did not expect it to be so bright, but I'm glad that it is. Welcome. And feel free to leave questions and, comments down in the comment section because I will be responding to questions during this live stream. All right. So we're talking about how feminine women stay unbothered. We know how to live unbothered lives. And I'm going to tell you the reason why and how we do that and how that makes us different as women. Let me grab my coffee. Let me do this. It's been a little bit of a busy week. I'm being out and about, and then the holiday. I hope everybody had a good holiday. This holiday, we were supposed to go to the beach. We had planned to go to Ocean City, and we ended up going to Atlantic City. And when I say ghetto, I mean ghetto. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking about letting them talk me out of going to Ocean City, but it was nothing but aggravation. I'm not really a summertime girl. I'm more of an autumn, fall type of girl. I was born in September, so I like the autumn vibe, more of the laid back, the pumpkin spice, the, coffee and latte drinks and pumpkin drinks and apple cider. I like the candles and the coziness. I love all of that. Me and the heat and the bugs and all of that, I just can't really do. So I'm about over the summer. After August or pretty much after the end of June, I'm good with the summer. Like it can just go ahead so we can get to autumn. So I can get my little, decorations and everything. That's more of my speed. I'm that kind of girl. I like autumn. I like the laid backness of it all. I don't know. It's something about the summer that makes people lose their mental faculties. It's like they no longer have common sense when it's too hot outside. So I don't necessarily care for the summer, but that's one of our seasons, so I deal with it. But I don't know. When it's hot outside, it's like people just lose all common sense. It's like they don't have any patience. They don't have any consideration. They're just very nasty and I don't know if the heat is like agitating people, but even driving, it's like, oh my goodness, I really have to ask God to keep me patient when I'm driving in the summertime because people, they got their music and I know you're enjoying yourself and all of that. But if your music makes you aggressive to the point where you're cutting people off in traffic and doing different things, maybe you need to cut it down. It's just, I don't know. The heat just does something to people, especially in the city. If you live more in the country or you live in the suburbs outside of the city, you might not have these kind of issues. But living in the city during the summertime, oh my goodness, it's annoying. And I'm over it. I'm ready for the cooler weather, the nice breeze where everybody's laid back, walking around with their nice coats and everything, just being at ease. That's what I'm ready for, which is also a part of being unbothered. The environment, the atmosphere. As feminine women, we tend to like more laid back atmospheres. I know everyone is different, but when a woman is more so in her femininity, she doesn't really like a lot of chaos and drama. And for me, the summertime brings out a lot of chaos and drama from people, and I just can't do it. So, but yeah, feminine women, we are unbothered. And the reason why feminine women know how to live a more unbothered, laid back kind of life is because of our mindset about life. When you are a woman who understands that just because you are a woman, just because you're a grown woman, that doesn't mean you have to walk around taking life so seriously all of the time. You don't have to walk around stone faced, looking angry and bitter and miserable all the time. I am so tired of walking into these stores and seeing women looking like they lost their best friend, or better yet, looking like they're about ready to fight their best friend. The level of aggressiveness, unnecessary aggressiveness from women is astounding nowadays. I walked into an establishment the other day, and do you think I got a how you doing or a smile or a head nod? I didn't get any of that. I got gritted on the entire time I was in the store. I got gritted on, I rolled at, looked at with the skunk eye. That is frustrating. And it's sad because unfortunately, this has become the norm for women. And I can hear somebody saying now, maybe they were having a bad day, maybe this, as women, we always like to try to find reasons to kind of justify or reason away things. And that's a lot of the reason why I believe we allow things to happen to us sometimes, or we put up with things that we should not put up with, because we're constantly trying to justify and reason away the reason why somebody's being a certain way instead of deciding not to tolerate the behavior. But I digress. But yeah, I was in the store and I felt uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable in a scared way, but I felt uncomfortable like, what's going on here? Like, I shouldn't feel like this is a threatening situation when I came to purchase something. And unfortunately, when you go into a lot of establishments where you're dealing with women, especially certain type of women, and I'm going to let you all guess the type of women, and it's unfortunate, but they seem to be the ones who have the most attitudes. And I just look and I say, why are we like this? Why are we like this? Why do we not know how to take it easy? Where did that aggressive nature come from? Where did that automatic, hostility, the way we carry ourselves in a hostile way, like where did that come from? But when a woman is leaning more into her femininity, when she has decided to really be the type of woman that God created her to be, to lean into that true nature of being feminine, of being soft, of being gentle, she knows how to smile, at least. She knows how to create a warm environment for the people to come into. If a woman is leaning into her femininity, she wants people to feel comfortable wherever she is. But when a woman is not in touch with her femininity, when she is leaning more into her masculinity, when she is allowing life to harden her, and I'm not saying this to say that men are automatically more hard, as in they don't know how to treat people, but as I've said before, men are not like women. And men are not so much concerned a lot of times with how they're coming off, if they're being a softer, gentle presence for you. That is more of a woman type of way of being. That is femininity. But when a woman does not have that, she doesn't care if other people feel comfortable in her presence. She actually wants to create an environment of hostility and tension. And that's what you see today. You see women, even women who say they're friends, even women, groups of women who say they are, associates, they like one another and all of that, they're creating an environment of hostility by how they act toward one another and how they act toward other people outside of their circles. It's this bully culture, this bully intimidation mentality that women have developed over time. And I have a few theories as to why women are this way. And this goes without saying, it's not all women, because I'm not like that. I'm not like that unnecessarily. I'm not saying women cannot have moments of hostility. We can't have moments where we express ourselves, or we express our anger or whatever we're feeling. I'm talking about the unnecessary nastiness, the unnecessary meanness, the rudeness, the jealousy and envy that other women have toward one another, that women have toward one another for no good reason. The dirty looks, the nasty demeanors. And we wonder why men are less apt to come to our rescue a lot of times. It's because women no longer carry themselves as women, they carry themselves like savage beasts. And that's unfortunate. And I know that that has happened because of the programming of the culture. When you have a culture that actually glorifies a woman being more like a beast, being more like a savage, being more aggressive, like she's just this warrior, always ready to fight. She's always ready for anything. You will have women who don't know how to get along with other women. You will have women who are not concerned with creating an atmosphere of peace or calmness or, sisterhood or community. You have people, women, who feel like they have to constantly be going at one another or belittling or putting one another down. And that's a sad. And that's the reason why I'm talking about learning how to live a more unbothered life. When people say they're unbothered, a lot of times people are talking about, I'm unbothered by them, I'm better than them, I'm this and that. And that all still comes down to trying to compete with another person. That all comes down to still trying to show up another person. But when a woman is truly in her femininity and truly unbothered, it's not that she's competing with or comparing herself to another person. In her mind, she is the only one who exists. And I know that some people might look at that as if somebody is being, a woman's being self absorbed if she dares to focus on herself. But when a woman truly lives in that unbothered way of being, she's not worrying about what the next woman is doing. She's focused on her own life. She's enjoying her own blessings. She's enjoying her own family and her surroundings. Feminine women take joy in the little things. We take joy in having our family around us. We take joy in having friendships. We take time to nurture our friendships. We don't want to burn bridges everywhere we go. But when a woman is hostile and aggressive and manly and masculine, and she doesn't know how to just be laid back and relax and know how to live light, know how to live unbothered, she's always trying to stir up problems with another woman. She's always looking at other women as if they're a threat to her. And what's sad, even more sad, is that a more unbothered, laid back feminine woman, she's often perceived as boring to other people because she's not the one who's constantly caught up in a lot of drama. And women who are more so in their femininity, we cannot thrive in drama and chaos. We just can't. We don't know how to function within dysfunction. We don't know how to be fake with people. We don't know how to, act like we like people when we really don't, or, play little catty games because our radar is so far from that. You have an awareness of it, but you don't live in that bitter state of being. And when a woman does not know how to be unbothered, she is bothered by everything. She takes everything personal. And a feminine woman, a confident feminine woman, no matter what you say, what you think, it doesn't matter to her if she does not agree with what you're saying. She knows how to hear you, but not listen to what you're saying because it doesn't matter to her. And that's a part of being in that that feminine queen energy. When you're in that, you have the ability to hear somebody, but if it doesn't apply to you, you disregard it. But the woman who is not confident, who is not feminine, who is always aggressive and bothered by everything, she takes everything personal. Everything is a personal hit against her. And a woman who is more unbothered, she doesn't take everything personal because she knows if it doesn't apply to her, it doesn't matter. Somebody could be talking about a woman who is always, fighting with people or messing around with somebody else's man or whatever. They could be talking about women in that way. But if it doesn't apply to her, she doesn't care about what they're saying because it doesn't bother her because it doesn't apply to her. But a woman who is not unbothered, she's constantly looking for issue where there is no issue. She's constantly looking for things to be offended by. And feminine women, when a woman is laid back, leans into her femininity, and she is truly unbothered, she's not always looking to be offended. I heard on a video, this YouTube channel I was watching, and the guy said that being offended is not a skill. And I wholeheartedly agree with that because some people major at being offended. Some people major at feeling like they was disrespected, like that kind of thing. And feminine women aren't like that. We let a lot of stuff go as long as it's not something personal that's going to harm us. A lot of times we really don't care what you're saying as long as you're not saying it directly to us. Hearsay, all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter because we understand that half the time when people have little nasty mean things to say about a woman, they usually say it behind her back. They're not bold enough to ever say it to her face. And because of that, we don't worry about it. We're living our lives. And I think if a lot more women had that unbothered mentality, not saying that there's not times where you're going to have to come in and kind of, quote, put somebody in their place, but you're not looking to do that kind of thing because you don't live in that way. Like, we don't even surround ourselves with people who are constantly mean and aggressive and always have, a bone to pick with somebody. Like, that's no way to live. Like, who wants to live and deal with people who are always upset and irritated about every and anything? Like, they wake up angry, they go to bed angry. Like, I used to be around women like that. And I told myself, when I become a woman, when I have my own circle, when I have control over my own life, essentially, I'm not going to surround myself with women who are always mean, bitter, nasty, always angry about something. Like, who wants to live that way? That's no way to live. And when a woman is leaned into her femininity, you become more aware that that's not normal. It's not normal for a woman to walk around constantly angry and mean and, mean mugging everybody and looking aggressive and just looking like, she smells something that stink all day. Like, that's not normal. And today we have women who look beautiful. They look beautiful. They dress beautiful. They're up on the best fashion. They know the trends. They know all of this stuff, but they lack the main thing, which is class, decorum, manners. And that is truly the core essence of femininity. It's not what you wear, it's who you are. And if who you are doesn't reflect the image that you are trying to put out on the outside, you are not feminine and you are not a classy woman. A classy woman understands that you do not walk around trying to create an environment of hostility. And when a woman is like that, it's because normally she has some type of insecurity within herself that doesn't allow her to get along with other people. She always has to have the upper hand over other people or think she has the upper hand over other people. So she has to have this aggressive, big bully type of mentality in order to make herself feel better. But when a woman is leaned into her femininity, she doesn't need to do all of that in order to feel important. She doesn't feel the need to do all of that to grab the attention of anyone. She actually understands that carrying herself with that big bully, savage, aggressive mentality is actually going to bring drama, bring chaos, bring issues to her. It's not going to keep it away. It's going to bring it to her, all because of how she's carrying herself as a woman. So it's important that women understand that having this rough, hard exterior, while you might be a woman who can hold her own, you might be a strong woman, even though you don't lead with that. But when you say strength, when I say strength, when it comes to femininity, you should always show yourself to be strong-minded, because if you are strong-minded, you know the difference between when somebody is trying to play you, when somebody is trying to get over on you, and you have wisdom. So when you have wisdom, you don't have to carry yourself in this big bully energy. You just observe your surroundings and you act accordingly as a woman. That's truly, having that wisdom and awareness. You don't have to carry yourself in such a masculine, manly type of way. Like, that's not becoming for a woman, in my opinion. It's really not. Let me grab a sip of my coffee. But yeah, as women, we really have to be mindful of how we are carrying ourselves as women. We have to understand that if we want to live softer, more gentle lives, we cannot allow culture or the world to harden us. And I think a lot of women have allowed life to harden them to the point that they don't know how to take it easy. Like, everything is always a fight, everything is always a problem or an issue. And this is a lot of the reason why women have trouble in relationships, because they don't know peace. They don't know how to be at peace. They don't know how to create an atmosphere of peace, because they're always bothered by something. And if you're always bothered by something, you have to ask yourself, what is it? What are you exposing yourself to that is allowing you to have this pent up hostility? What are you exposing yourself to that is allowing you to develop this aggressive nature? Are you around other women who are bitter, miserable, who are talking, to you, trying to get you to hate everything and everybody? Are you a woman that sees like the glass half empty instead of glass half full? Like, a woman who is feminine and truly understands how blessed she is, she's not looking at everything in a negative light. I mean, we find joy in the little things. Today I was at the dollar store just grabbing little things, and they had a whole autumn fall section, fall decor section up. So I grabbed a few things. Hold on, let me show you. So I got this cute little lantern for the fall, because I absolutely love fall decor. This is a little sidebar from what I'm talking about, because I have to show you all this. This beautiful little lantern. I have a few of these, but I wanted to upgrade some of my decor for the fall. So I got this. I got these cute LED lights with the little fall leaves on them. So I got that. Let me see what else. I got two of these little cute pumpkins with the flowers, little sunflower on top. I got two of these. And I got this pretty fall throw. It was $5. A little fall throw. Got that one. I hope you can see it's like brown with the little pumpkins and the sunflowers and everything on it. And I got this other throw that's a cream color with pumpkins on it. So I'm like, okay, I was thinking to myself, yes, it's July, but I don't care, because I love fall and these things make me happy. So I'm going to buy it. And that's what I did. As a feminine woman, that's your right. We do things that make us happy, even the little things, even the things that we, other people might think is odd. The other people might say, okay, well, it's July. Why are you buying fall items? Because it makes me happy to do so, because I like it, because I was born in September and I'm a fall girl. And then I also got a couple odds and ends, had to re-up on some things for my hair care. This stuff right here, let me show you. Hold on a minute. This hair growth serum, I hope you see it. It's called Bio Hair Growth Oil with 7 Bio Naturals, Bio 7. I started using this stuff 3 weeks ago because my edges had thinned out a little bit, because I wear the wigs a lot. I wear the half wigs, and sometimes I slide it down a little too far where it's all around my edges. So it pulled it out a little bit. I used this stuff 3 weeks ago, and my edges are already full using this Bio 7 oil. I'm going to leave the link to the description. I'm going to leave the link to this Bio 7 oil in the description box. I have it on my Amazon storefront, so you can check it out. This stuff works amazing. I mean, I've used kaleidoscope drops, I've used the Mayel products, but this right here works faster than that. This Bio 7 oil, you have to get it, okay? Because even though we can wear our weaves, we can wear our wigs, we can do all of that, but we have to take care of our natural hair. We have to take care of our natural nails. And I wash and deep condition my hair once a week, and I put Jamaican black castor oil with the Bio 7 oil, and I use whatever oils I have up there as well as the Curacare conditioner. Oh my goodness, like my hair has gotten so much more thicker. My hair has always been thick, but it gotten even thicker, and I have a lot more length. So Bio 7 oil, you have to get it. I hope you can see this clearly. And I'm trying to get better at this. Bio 7 oil. So get you some of that. And then from my wind down routine, because, as feminine women, we have our routines and everything. And I'm going to get better at showing you all some of the things that I use just for my feminine routine, my feminine self-care, because I think that's very important when it comes to being a feminine woman, because we don't just shower, hop out, and then just hop in the bed, or just shower and then just run out the door. We take time to lotion our bodies, put our fragrances on, we do our hair. Some of us do our makeup. If it's light makeup, we actually take time to nurture our bodies. So this is what I've been using. I love Method Body Care, but I recently ran into this one. It is the Chamomile, Starflower, and Blue Lavender Wind Down Body Wash. This is so good, and it smells so good. Oh my goodness. It's like it puts you in such a relaxed state. Like, this smells amazing. And I wish I could burn this in a diffuser. This is, look, Method Body Wind Down Body Wash. Get you some of this. So I actually use this in the morning, and I probably shouldn't have, because it made me a little relaxed, a little sleepy. But you know what? I absolutely love this kind of stuff. And I know I've gotten off topic, but hey, that's all right. We can do that, okay, as women. So yes, I don't know if you've been here any amount of time, but you should know by now my videos, especially when I do lives, this is all things woman. So I'm going to go in and out of topics in true auntie fashion. I'm going to be talking to you about one thing, and then we're going to get into another topic and get back to it. Bear with me, okay? So, and leave your comments. I love to see them. But this right here, this is amazing. And it leaves your skin feeling so soft, so smooth. Like, you really don't even have to put lotion or oil on afterward, but you should. I still do. I use avocado oil, the Now avocado oil, and whatever lotion that I'm going to use for the night. I'll put a little bit of lotion in my hand with the avocado oil, rub that on, rub it together, and then rub it all over my body. It's amazing. My husband, he'll walk in the room and I'm not dressed. Not dressed, period. And he'll be like, okay, my husband, he does a little coy thing, like he's never seen me before. And then he'll come back 10 minutes later and I'm still not dressed. And he's like, what is it with you being, the N-word? I don't know how strict YouTube is, so I don't want to say that word. He said, what? You're still the N-word. And I'm like, well, I'm getting dressed. This is our bedroom, because I'm taking my time, lotioning and lathering my body to get myself smelling good for myself and for him. Like, he shouldn't rush me. But, I have a comment. Let's see. I've been watching so many of your videos. Love your content. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I'm glad you're liking the content. Look, I created this platform for us, for women. And as women, we are very complex. We're not unstable or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it in that way, but we are different from men. We're not unstable. We are complex beings. That is the way God created us. We are so multifaceted. There's so many different things about us. And when a woman truly leans into her femininity, I believe it opens up a whole new world to a woman of seeing that you can just truly be. You don't constantly have to be trying to prove your worth, prove your value, prove the impact that you make in the lives of other people. As women, we do so much and we are so much to so many people. And it's not so much about what you're doing, it's who you're being as a woman. When I talk about, dealing with feminine men and dealing with, things, women should be a challenge and how you should, a man should be this way in relation to femininity. It's because as women for so long, I believe that we haven't really had a standard for what we will deal with and what we won't deal with. We have kind of conditioned people to kind of do us and treat us however they want. We've kind of conditioned people to feel comfortable putting more on us than what we should allow them to put on us. And I created this channel to let women know that it's okay for you to just be a girl, to just be a woman. While you might have your responsibilities, you might have your children, your husband, and your career, and different things you're doing, it's still okay for you to just breathe and just be. Like, you don't have to feel like you are always in competition with the next man or woman. Like, we don't have to vie for anybody's attention when we are truly leaning into our femininity. It's like the things that are meant for us will be. The people who are meant for us will be. But it takes for us to work on ourselves as women individually in order to truly see that in our own lives. I think sometimes as women, we put so much of the responsibility for our happiness and for our well-being on other people that we forget that no, actually, we're in control of our own lives. I mean, in essence, God is in control, but He's given us control over our own lives to manage our lives. And a lot of us as women, we have allowed, the voices of other people to kind of get in our heads, be it negative or positive. And sometimes it gets to the point where we just truly don't even know who we are as women anymore, because we are who people said we should be instead of being who we truly want to be and should be as women. We become the work mules, the workhorses, the superheroes, the backup to the backup. We become, all these different things instead of just saying, okay, I'm a woman first. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a worker, I'm an aunt, I'm a sister, I'm a cousin, I'm a whatever else. But I'm a woman first. I'm a person first. I have to take care of me. I have to take care of my well being. I don't like how I'm feeling. No more just keep pressing. And there's a difference between enduring, because somebody said something to me the other day about, what the scripture says about in this life you have to endure. And while absolutely, I mean, what's the latter? Like, you can't give up on life. Like, that's never the answer. But the question comes is, are you enduring things that you really don't even have to put up with? And I had to tell my husband this one day. I said, yes, in this life we will have to endure, but sometimes we are setting ourselves up for things or putting ourselves in situations that we don't necessarily have to be in. We choose to be in those situations. God said endure life, but there's certain things that He didn't have planned for us. Our own choices have us stuck in a bind, or stuck in a toxic relationship, or stuck in a toxic career that's weighing us down. We're not without options. So I think when people are constantly saying, well, life is going to be hard, it's not always easy, this and that, that may be true. No matter how you live or the choices you make, things will come along. But are you choosing to do things the hard way? Are you choosing to live a hard life? That's the question. I think so many people, and I've said it before, people love to glorify struggle. People love to glorify hard. I used to be one of those people. If it didn't hurt, it didn't matter, which is foolish. Everything don't have to hurt in order for it to mean something. And as a feminine woman, when you truly begin to understand that, because you begin to value your mind, you value your body, you value your spirit, you start making choices that line up with the kind of life that you want to live. And if you don't want to live a hard life, you begin to do things that allow you to live a more softer, laid back kind of life. And not to make this a preachy thing, but even in the word in Thessalonians, I believe it says, aspire to lead a quiet life, to mind your own business, and to work with your own hands. Aspire to lead a quiet life. You can't lead a quiet life if you are constantly living and dealing with people and situations that are filled with drama. And that was the end of that little rant. So, are you choosing to live a hard life? And that ties into being unbothered. When a woman is truly unbothered, she makes decisions for her life that will contribute to her having a less bothered life. She doesn't choose drama. She doesn't choose to be around people who are going to constantly have her caught up in something. She picks her friends wisely. Look, bad company corrupts good morals. Bad company corrupts good habits. If you're dealing with people who are always in some mess, who are always messy, who are always testing your patience, are you really choosing to have a decent, calm life? You know? So as women, I think, like I said initially, we have a choice. And I think that a lot of women have looked at men as if they are their all in all. And while I do endorse, a woman being married, to me, being married is a blessing. Being in a healthy relationship, particularly marriage, that is like the main place where your femininity really thrives, in my opinion. You can be feminine without being married. You don't have to be married. But when you are married, it's like that's when you have free reign of expression. You can express yourself. You can express your femininity. You can express your sensuality, your sexuality. You can express all of that safely and healthy within the bounds of marriage. So for me, your femininity really thrives when you have masculine leadership, a masculine man in your life. But you don't have to be married to be feminine, but I'm just saying you really have that freedom of expression in every area when you are a married woman. But as women, once again, choose to live an unbothered life. A feminine woman who lives unbothered, she knows how to take it easy, like I just showed you. I bought my fall stuff. I went and got my hair drops. Later on, I'm going to deep condition and wash my hair. I have an order, so I got to make that necklace. That's the one little piece of work I have to do. But we have to understand that if you truly want to be a woman who is at ease and feminine and, just that girl, and all women are not girly girls, but being a woman that knows how to have a good time. And when I say have a good time, I mean being able to just enjoy your own company and enjoy the company of other people without stirring up problems, without looking for problems, that is a blessing. That is a joy. And a woman who is able to do that to make other people feel comfortable with her presence, that's not anything to look down on. That's not something to be called corny or whatever new word they're saying. And it's a shame that simply being a feminine woman, being a woman, is frowned upon by more masculine women and feminine men. To see a woman speaking properly and to see a woman smiling and, being kind to another individual, they look at you like, there's something wrong with you, like you have four heads. I remember my husband and I, maybe a couple weeks ago, we were at Rita's, we wanted some Rita's. And we were standing there, he was ordering, and all of these dirt bikes came rushing down the street. You can tell I live in the city. And the police officer was standing right there. She was ordering something, and we just looked over at her and she looked at us, and, we kind of struck up a conversation. And there was another young lady, she was walking over and she hopped out of her car, and we're talking to the officer, and we're just having a decent, nice conversation with the officer. And she's rolling her eyes at me and looking at me and my husband like, because, in today's society, you're not supposed to like the police. You're not supposed to like them. You're not supposed to say anything nice to them. Especially if you look like me, you're not supposed to embrace them. And I am against that. I embrace and I appreciate everything that our officers do. But because of the culture and the crabs in the barrel mentality that says we're not supposed to like them, we're not supposed to talk to them. And yes, I picked up on all of this from a look, because she was, if looks could, the saying, that's how she was looking at me. Because according to the way the culture says a woman is supposed to be, especially a woman of my kind, we shouldn't talk to them. We're supposed to be mean mugging, and we should be in full support of the chaos. And I must say, I am not a part of that. I am the anti-type of woman. And if you are on this channel and you follow this channel, I believe you are the anti-type of woman, meaning you are the opposite of what the culture says a woman is supposed to be. You are not unnecessarily hostile. You do know how to treat people kindly. You do know how to carry yourself with class and grace. You do know how to show patience when necessary. You do enjoy the little things. You don't have to wait for somebody else to come along to make you happy in order to be happy. And you do have a personal relationship with the Lord. You have spirituality. You have your mind that is not just influenced by the culture. When you have all of that, you are the opposite of what's walking out here. And because of that, you will have opposition. You will have people that are going to look at you like it's something wrong with you because you're not like everybody else. And that's okay. As a feminine woman, especially if you are a divine feminine woman, if you have God in your life, you have even more stability because, how can I say it? When you know that God, your identity is essentially in who God says you are as a woman, your femininity was given by God, nobody can tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing, as they used to say. I'm just being goofy now, but can't nobody tell you nothing. And me and my husband have a conversation. I told him, I said, can't nobody tell me nothing when it comes to this. And he's like, I know. Because it's like your mind is set. Like you can't be easily swayed by like the culture or anybody else, especially when you know you are living and being the right way. It's not to say that you're not a woman that's open to critique or criticism, because nobody is perfect, but you check the source, as they used to say back in the day. You check the source. So that means that you are mindful of the people who are giving you advice, and you are mindful of the kind of life they live. And then you look at that and determine whether or not you want to heed their advice or just kindly reject it. And you don't have to kindly say you reject the advice. Just let people talk. My dad used to say something that's, he used to say that people just talk to be talking, and people will tell you anything. And I kind of carried that along with me as an adult, because, some people like to just hear themselves talk. They're not saying much of anything. They're just talking. They like to air their own opinions, and it's not beneficial for anyone. They like to say words that cut. They like to say words that hurt other people. So when you know you're dealing with a person who likes to just cut other people down and their words are not making an impact, so they're essentially just trying to distract you from your focus, from your purpose, trying to some way get you discouraged with your life, you know how to disregard those kind of people. And as a feminine woman, especially if you're a woman who is leaning back into her femininity, you're living a less chaotic life. You're striving to live stress less. I'm not going to say stress free, because in life you will have some stressors, but you're trying to live stress less. You're just enjoying your life. And there's going to be bitter, miserable people, man and woman alike, that doesn't like that. And you have to be, and this is where strength comes in. Feminine women have to show themselves to be mentally strong. If you're going to be a strong woman, it should be mentally. Physically, you can be strong too. Look, I'm not saying we're not strong as feminine women. I know that I am strong, okay? We just don't lead with that. But if you should be strong in any way, it better be mentally. Because in this world that we're living in, and when I speak on these lives, I'm giving you real life advice, commentary, whatever you would like to call it. In this world, you have to be strong, because you have to be strong-minded, because there are a lot of things that try to come along. And I think women personally are under attack right now, because women have a lot going on. You have a lot of examples out here who are not good role models. And honestly, you're not supposed to look to society or look to the world, the culture, entertainment. Oh, goodness, no. You don't look to entertainment for role models. But because of the overall way that women are carrying themselves today, they've put themselves in a position to be scrutinized by men who have no right to say a word about how women are. But because of the women that they are scrutinizing, those women don't have any wisdom. They only have their bodies to flaunt around and that ghetto bravado. They don't really understand that they're under attack, and they need to get their acts together so that they can stand up against the opposition. But all they know is all this other dumb stuff. They don't have the wisdom. And that's what this channel right here is about. We are feminine women who are beautiful inside out, but we have wisdom enough to understand, while everybody wants to hold women accountable, as they absolutely, women have to be accountable. But women did not just become hard out of nowhere. Women did not just suddenly decide to be the way they are. This video can be a lot longer than what I want it to be, but I say that to say it's time for women to operate with a level of wisdom. And the only way you can do that is if you, number one, have a relationship with God, because true wisdom, and if you've been watching me, you know it comes back to spirituality for me. To truly have wisdom, you have to know God. And then after that, you must know how to implement that wisdom in your everyday life. And it's not just by wearing the color pink and talking in a soft voice and saying, "Oh, I need help." And that's performance. When you are a truly divine feminine woman, you know how to carry yourself in a flowy, calm, cool, collected way, while having a complete open mind to read and understand what you're dealing with when you go out the door every single day. That is true womanhood. That is true femininity. And you know how to adapt to different surroundings. And you can feel the vibe of a room. You can feel when something is not right. You can feel when the vibe is off. You can feel when this opportunity is not for you. And you're not desperate. When women are desperate for different things, they will just fall for anything. When you're desperate for a man, you will deal with a man who is full of dust. He don't have nothing to offer but and you'll deal with it because you just want a body. But when you have self-worth and value and you're not desperate, you will allow the right type of man to come along. I just did a video about why you keep attracting dusty men. And I suggest you watch that video. And I know that a lot of women may be offended because they might think, okay, well, and I know men definitely probably going to be offended, well, dusty, what do you call it dusty? Well, I'm going to have to watch the video to see that. But as feminine women, it comes down to having a standard. And please understand, when I make these videos, I don't make these videos to all on out judge or put down somebody, because as I've said before, I'm giving you information from either my lived experience, observed experience, or just God-given wisdom. How can I can't say it any other way. I've lived a lot of life, okay? And I'm in my late 30s. I've been grown since I was about 12 years old. And that's unfortunate because of the kind of environment that I was in. Out of respect to my parents, I'm not going to give too much detail, but I saw a lot of hardness. And while my life, how can I say it? My life from the time I was born up until the time I was 8 years old, we were in the South, living the regular, beautiful country life. Come on back up north, and that's when pure chaos just happened. Over and over and over again. Things transitioned where I was with my father. Life got better, name brand this, nice clothes, going to school, just doing everything. But a lot of hostility, a lot of verbal mistreatment, a lot of, just constant being on edge, And I saw all these things and I told myself, I will never deal with this kind of treatment. When I grow up, when I become an adult, I'm not going to deal with this. And that caused me to become kind of hard. That caused me to become that woman that said, if you're going to do anything, you're going to have to do it for yourself. You can't trust nobody. That's the kind of mentality I had because of what I came up with. I was around a lot of instability. I was around a lot of chaos and dysfunction. I was dealing with the bully, women, the women that were overly aggressive and, feel like they could come at you any kind of way. I had to prove myself, And as I grew up, I went into the military. I used to be in the National Guard. I did 3 years in the National Guard. I never got deployed, thank God, but I was in the National Guard. Did my little drills at Fort Dix and, did my weekend drills, and then I went for my basic training. Then I went for my AIT training, and that was that. I went into the military not because I essentially wanted to be in the military. I was trying to get out the house. I've been trying to get out of my father's house from the time I got there. From the time I was like 13 years old, I was trying to get out of my father's house because it was pure chaos. I'll never forget, the recruiter came to my high school. And they have the little table and everything set up, JROTC, join the army, all this stuff. I got those papers. I came home and gave them papers. I put them down on the table and said, Daddy, I need you to sign this. He said, what's this for? I said, I'm going to the military. He said, you want to go to the military? I said, yeah. I ain't giving no thoughts about it. All I knew is I was going to get paid and I wasn't going to be in the house. So he signed the papers, and that summer, my junior year, I went off down south, went to South Carolina and trained and came back. And, that's kind of how my life started to change. So I don't know how I got into giving you this story, but if you hear how I sound, it's because I was in the armed forces. I was in the military, and that builds discipline, that builds assertiveness, which I absolutely appreciate. Would I do it again? No. Would I have done it if my father wasn't the way that he was? No. But I was trying to get out the house. And then I came back and, got a job and doing all these things. And then I met my husband. And my husband was counter opposite of every man I've ever met. He was no drama. He wasn't having, he didn't have no issues. He didn't have no baggage. He had no kids. I'm like, oh my goodness, like a unicorn dropped from the sky. It's like in that moment, like God knew what I needed, the type of person I needed in my life. And he knew that I did not need drama. I could not deal with drama. Like I dealt with that my entire adolescence. I couldn't deal with any more drama. So I knew there was a reason that my life kind of went the way it was. But I give you this backstory apparently to tell you where all my passion comes from, because I have either lived it, observed it, or I just have that wisdom because of what I've been through. And I think a lot more of us would appreciate the realness more from people if we really thought about who we were listening to. We live in a time where people want to look like they have it together and not have it all together, or have it together. We like appearances. I'll tell you right now, for me, I don't want to look like I'm okay. I want to be okay. I don't want to look wealthy. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to act feminine. I want to be in my feminine. So as women, it's important that we understand, and the original point is all about being unbothered. I give you this backstory and this transparency to let you know that the more that a woman has been through, and as you grow older, especially as a woman, you will begin to recognize and appreciate living a more softer, gentle life. You will begin to recognize and appreciate what it is to truly just lean back and just be. No more running from things, no more trying to prove yourself, no more trying to be what everybody else says you should be. You will learn how to just rest and just be at ease. And when you become that way, that's when you become unbothered, because you've been through some stuff. When women have been through things and you truly don't want to have that level of drama anymore, you get more unbothered. You get unbothered. Like very little bothers you. It's like somebody can tell you something, you're like, oh, that's crazy. Wow. I'm going to keep you in prayer. And you understand, you care. It's not that you don't care about people. It's just that you guard your emotions more. You don't allow the cares of this life to overwhelm you anymore, because you've been through some stuff. And when you've been through some stuff and you've overcome it, you get unbothered. Like I said before, it's like nobody can tell you nothing. You are just so assured because God is on your side. You are a feminine woman. You know how to act. You know how to be. You know you're never stuck. And you know things work out for you. So as a feminine woman, learn how to live an unbothered life. Think about who you're surrounding yourself with. Thinking about what you're taking into your thoughts. And remember, just because somebody else is trying to get you to doubt your life and doubt the way you live and how you are, and make you feel like you're not normal for being a softer, gentle, or wanting to be a more softer, gentle woman, all because you're no longer comfortable embracing drama, embracing chaos, disregard that. Become unbothered. Lean into your femininity. Get into your spirituality. Get to know God. Let God direct your thoughts and guide you in your life. You will become unbothered. All right? Like and subscribe to this channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. Be a girly girl. Buy things when it's a random thing to do. Look, I bought this. Today is July 11th, and I bought this for the fall because I love the fall. I am all things autumn. I am all things fall. I am all things woman, and I absolutely appreciate you. Take care.